Hi there everyone, it's Nathan Hawthorne back for another lesson, and this time we're dealing with drawing again, but we're focusing on the face. So we're not going to be spending too much time on the features of the face, just the overall face and its proportions in general. So let's get started. First thing you have to do is draw a circle. Hopefully you've been practicing those. So draw a circle like so. Excellent. And then we're just going to trim a little bit of the side off of that circle. Okay, like so. All right, make sure you're pressing lightly because we will be rubbing out quite a few parts. Okay, on those edges where you've just trimmed off a bit of the circle, we're just going to go down a little bit further and we're going to lean in slightly. All right, and now all we need to do, because this is just a jaw that we just added in, now all you have to do is just add on the chin. Now chins can come in several shapes, but we'll go for a relatively small but not quite pointed one like that. There we go. Now within this, we now need to find where the eyes are. It's always easiest to start from the eyes. Let's get rid of this marcus here from the lower part of the circle. Okay, so there's our basic head shape. Now the eyes are typically halfway down the head. Okay, most people make the mistake and think that it's about a third. That's incorrect. Okay, the eyes may not be halfway down the face, because your face tends to start where your hairline is, but it is halfway down the head, the actual top of your head. So from here, we'll just eyeball about halfway. It's about here. There we go. Those are our eyes. So we'll put that center line there very lightly, and it's probably best that we do a center line through the middle this way as well, so vertically. All right, so now on here, on the right, we'll just do an arc just there, and same thing on the bottom. Let's go and get our eyes in here. The eyes tend to have about an eye's worth of gap in between them. Okay, so you tend to be able to fit another eye sort of there, and then you can do your other eye. Remember, you're trying to keep it as symmetrical as possible, like that. Now already I can see that that's slightly off. I got a little bit more room on this side. Maybe we should just trim that down a little right there. All right, excellent. And we can remove that guideline in the middle there. Cool. So where's the nose go? The nose is halfway between the eyes and the chin, or thereabouts. Of course, there's some variation within people, but typically it'll be somewhere around there. So for the nose, I just tend to keep it as a couple of brackets. So a bracket there, a bracket there, a bracket there, and a bracket there. Like I said, we'll go further into these features later on, but for now, we'll just focus on getting in really simplistic versions of them. All right, so there's the nose. And the mouth, you guessed it, halfway between the nose and the chin. So halfway is about there, and that's where we'll put it. Okay. And there. Now the ears. The top of the ear tends to be in line with the corner of the eye. So we'll just put that there. And the ears are like just big brackets. The bottom of the ear tends to line up with somewhere around the nose. But like I said, there's variation there from person to person as well. Some people have tiny ears, some people have massive ears. That's just part of the joy of being human. The variation that we have within ourselves. From person to person, and even from family member to family member. All right, we'll go a bit deeper into how to do the ears later on, but for now, let's just make sure that they're in the right place, in line with the eyes and the nose. Okay, now to make sure that things line up perfectly, you can just draw light guidelines across, so that I can see that I could make this ear a little bit lower. Good, good. Okay, now let's add some pupils in. Now the thing with the eyes is that it can be tempting just to draw a circle in the middle, but that will make the person like they're staring, like with wide open eyes. So we don't want that. So what we can do is just maybe draw in a bit of an eyelid there. Just close the eye slightly. We can even go about a bit up here. And then you can put in just a part of the pupil, not the entire thing. Okay, and there you go. You're now free to add in your eyebrows, which will be at varying heights depending on how the person's expressing themselves, or even just the person's face itself. So it could be up there, it could be down here. It's all up to how the person looks and how you want them to look. All right, and there we go. Now when it comes to hair, it depends on, of course, what type of hairstyle you're doing, but because most people do tend to have higher hair these days, I'll just say this. Remember that your head is not your hair. That's two separate things. So if you are going to add in someone with quite a bit of hair, so say for example a person has a high top, a lot of time those high tops tend to go straight up from the sides of the head, all right, which would mean they come out from here. They do not follow the head and then end like that. Otherwise up here the person will be near bald. All right, so it needs to go straight up and have some height to it, like so. Same applies for if the person has straighter hair. If they have straighter hair, then you're going to want to make sure that the hair is coming off of the top of the head and isn't flat against the head itself. Otherwise, it will look like the person is near bald. All right, so we need to have the mass of the hair coming off of the top of the head. So, whoops. So we'll keep it simple. I'll go with that. Let me just remind myself where the edges of the head were. There. We'll go with that high top that I mentioned earlier. There we go. The hairline varies, but be careful not to make your forehead too small. Okay, and there you go. A fairly well-shaped head. Right? Now it's up to you to add whatever features you want. Spots, earrings, anything like that. I'll also add one more thing on just to ground this. Grounding objects is always very, very important. It stops them from floating in space. So at the moment it's a floating head. Let's just give it a little bit of grounding by giving it a neck. It makes a massive difference. Now with the neck, we don't want it to be too thin. The big mistake that lots of people, especially young people, make is drawing the necks like there, which is extremely cartoony, and simply put, the head would not be able to contain, well, the neck would not be able to contain the mass of the head. So we need to make sure that the neck is nice and thick and strong. So it doesn't have to be right at the edge of the jaw, but it should be part of that sort of curve of the jaw. Coming in slightly and then heading back out. All right. And that will be it. That will be enough for a basic head shape. So the main rules you need to remember is that the eyes is halfway between the head, the top of the head, and the chin. The nose is halfway between the eyes and the chin, and the mouth is around halfway between, the mouth is halfway between the nose and the chin. And there's variations within that, but they're typically sort of standard for most humans. All right. So once you've done that, you can then take it to the next step. Once you understand that, you can start taking it to the next step, and you can start learn about tone, about getting in those details and expressions and things like that. And we will go on to have a look at those in some of our future videos that are coming up very, very soon. But that's it for now. I suggest that you try this out with loads of different people, loads of different face types, loads of different culture types as well, and ethnicities, so that you can really get a feel for all the different variations that we can have as humans and that your characters can have when you are doing character and portrait drawing. All right? Nothing's better than practice when it comes to this sort of thing, and from research and working from an example. So looking at an image, even if it's of yourself or of a friend or of a family member, and trying to draw it yourself. All right? So have a go, draw a couple heads. Feel free to ask any questions, especially if you have any issues with it or there's any other rules that you think will help you. And watch out for the next video where we shall be looking at how to draw an eye. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and that's all for now. Until next time.